According to all estimates, we will see episode 80 of Skibidi Toilet this month. This episode will be a Jubilee episode and will consist of several parts, as mentioned by Boom, and we also had a leak confirming this. We also already had access to the opening scene of episode 80, where we were shown another duet between Astro UFO and the Duchess. Considering all of the above, today we will try to put everything together into one picture. The excerpt itself is, of course, raw and without dialogue, which takes up most of the screen time in this part. Thanks to this material, I would like to discuss the plot of the first part of episode 80, its duration, and most importantly, understand what UFO Toilet and Astro Duchess were talking about, and when the full episode will finally be released. Today's video will be intense, so to make sure you don't miss anything, watch it to the end and don't forget to like it. Well, let's get started. So the episode excerpt itself lasts about a minute, and the rest of the time is taken up by showing photos of various models. But the most interesting thing is that Strider has confirmed that he will be participating in the animation of episode 80. It all starts with the wounded cameraman raising his head and looking at Astro Duchess. The situation looks extremely alarming. The sky is dark, covered with clouds and storm clouds. The area is destroyed. There is fire and debris everywhere. Later, the UFO toilet appears and reports something to the Astro Duchess. A dialogue begins between them, but since the excerpt is still raw, there is no voiceover yet. Perhaps they are discussing something related to G-Man because, as we remember, Dafook promised to reveal the truth about the dialogue between G-Man and Astro UFO in episode 60. Or it could be about the location of the Titan cameraman because, I repeat, his coordinates have remained unknown since episode 76. There could be an infinite number of options because these two characters play a key role in the Astro Toilet's hierarchy. At the end of the excerpt, the cameraman dies and the scene ends abruptly. So, judging by the location itself, the scene is very reminiscent of the destroyed cameraman's base. Surprisingly, after that real meat grinder, someone still remained alive there. Most likely, this is exactly what Astro Duchess and her squad were waiting for. They are probably lying in wait for the survivors, as their plan was apparently to destroy one of the Alliance's key bases. It is logical to assume that after such an attack, the Allies will definitely come to the rescue, to save the remaining important characters and, equally important, to preserve the technology. That is why there is a high probability that we will see the appearance of G-Man or Titan Speakerman in the first part of the episode. Personally, I am more inclined to believe that G-Man will appear on the battlefield, while Titan Speakerman will go to help his squad, which found itself in a difficult situation back in episode 78. If we develop this idea further, the picture might look like this. In the first part, we see G-Man fighting the Astro Toilets. In the second part, we see Titan Speakerman revealing his technology in battle against the Astro Carrier, which attacked the Speakerman Armada in episode 78. And in the third part, we can see them on the same team, working together. By that point, G-Man will most likely already have received his Titan suit. It is also interesting that we did not see Watchman of Doom in the excerpt shown. Most likely, he is now in battle against Jeffrey. As we remember, after Watchman of Doom entered the secret dimension of the TV men, he began to take on too much, destroying everything in his path. However, at some point, Jeffrey couldn't take it anymore and made it clear that this was his world and that he was the one who kept order here. The big question remains, does Watchman of Doom have any chance against Jeffrey? After all, as we remember, Jeffrey's arm alone is comparable in size to the Titan himself. This conflict can be considered one of the key storylines, the resolution of which we have yet to see. Also, in episode 80, we are particularly eager to get answers to many other, equally important questions. First of all, what really happened to the camera woman, and what motives prompted her to make such a tragic and, at first glance, inexplicable decision. In addition, it will be extremely interesting to see whether the detective cameraman will be able to extract memories from the Plunger Man's mind, and whether the Plunger Man himself will still appear in the series in some way, even if not as an independent character, but, for example, as an assistant or partner to the secret agent. Personally, I have a feeling that episode 80 will be one of the most intense and difficult in terms of the loss of key characters. Such a large-scale and fierce battle will lead to the death of important figures on on both sides of the conflict. In my opinion, the likely plot development could look like this. The Alliance will try to rescue Watchman of Doom and free him from the control of the Astro Toilets, which will inevitably lead to an extremely powerful clash. It is possible that a real drama will unfold at this moment. When the Watchman of Doom begins to be freed, he may be killed immediately after his rescue, which will only add to the tragedy of the situation. If we talk about possible candidates for such a sacrifice, then characters from G-Squid may well be targeted. On the one hand, they are not central figures in the plot, and on the other hand, they have been present in the series for a very long time, which is why their death could seem logical and symbolic. At the moment, the main candidate for me remains the hybrid Giga Chad. He seems to be the bravest and most decisive among them, which means that he could be assigned the role of the one who will go to the end, even at the cost of his own life. It's no secret that anniversary episodes in Skibidi Toilet are almost always turning points. If, up to that point, one side clearly dominated the other, then it is after such episodes that the balance of power usually shifts dramatically in the opposite direction. However, this raises a perfectly logical question. How does the Alliance intend to prevail over a super cosmic race that has been preparing its attack with extreme care, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? After all, as we remember, the Astro Toilets have been specifically monitoring the Titans since episode 68, as confirmed by the silhouette of the UFO toilet in the background, as well as their sharp counterattack in episode 74, right after their fierce battle against G-Man. Even if we assume that Titan TV Man will reappear in the Alliance, he is unlikely to be able to seriously oppose the Astro Toilets on his own. Yes, perhaps G-Man will finally demonstrate his secret weapon, or perhaps Juggernaut has already developed a plan that viewers know nothing about yet. But personally, I think that the key factor will be something truly unexpected. Either details will be revealed that we simply forgot or did not attach any importance to earlier. Speaking of forgotten characters whose return is theoretically possible, the first thing that comes to mind is Astro Detainer. After the battle with G-Man in episode 72, he was seriously injured and has since virtually disappeared from the plot, and 8 episodes have already passed. At the same time, it was Astro Juggernaut who came to his aid, which clearly hints at their close relationship. It is possible that they are well acquainted, and if we assume that Astro Juggernaut is cooperating with G-Man in some way, then he could well try to persuade Detainer to switch sides to the Alliance, offering him certain conditions or benefits. As for the length of the 81st episode, I assume that each part will last at least 5 minutes on average, and that's only if we take into account the presentation of the main plot information. Already in the excerpt from the first part, it is clear that the dialogue scene alone takes about a minute. It is logical to assume that if the episode is shorter than 5 minutes, it will seem empty and insubstantial, which is unlikely to please viewers after such a long wait. Therefore, it is quite possible that each part will last 7 or even 8 minutes. It is also worth noting a worrying point. Dafook, apparently, no longer has full access to the formation of the Skibidi Toilet storyline. Because of this, there is a risk that the final result may turn out to be weaker than expected, both in terms of the plot and the animation. If Invisible Narratives hires too many animators with different visual styles, there is a possibility that each of them will start painting their own picture, which will compromise the integrity of the story. Nevertheless, we want to believe that all these changes will not prevent the episode from truly delighting us after such a long hiatus. Judging by the available excerpt, the scene rendering is already complete, but the dialogue, animation smoothness, and small details are still being refined. With this in mind, it is most likely that we will see the episode in January. Personally, I think the release will be in mid-January, and all this is again provided that Dafook and the team of animators do not encounter any serious problems during production. As we wrap up this video, I want to say this: Episode 80 is bound to be one of the best in the whole series, if not the strongest in terms of epicness, tension, and drama. After such a long wait, viewers have every right to expect a truly epic and intense continuation. I really want to believe that everything promised in the 81st and subsequent episodes will be fully revealed and will not remain at the level of hints and fragments, as unfortunately happened in the 79th episode, where even the entire episode was essentially devoid of any new information. Well, that's all from me. I was with you, as always, Super Cameraman. Good luck to everyone. Bye for now.